Last spring on a Cow-Calf Corner segment, we visited with you about the importance of selecting cows based on udder soundness and how that affects herd profitability. Well, with those spring calving operations, as they're weaning the calves this fall and the cows go through the chute, this is a good time to make that decision as to which one of those cows has a less than sound udder that maybe ought to go into our cull pen and eventually go ahead and be sent to market. Let's remember what the data tells us about udder soundness. Research data throughout years tended to suggest that in beef cattle, udder soundness was lowly heritable, to the tune of 0.16 to 0.22 heritabilities, and that means just basically the percentage of the differences that's due to genetics. More recent data within breeds has suggested that it might be a little bit higher. Some work in Brahma cattle suggested that the overall udder soundness could be as much as 25% heritable, and perhaps more importantly, K-State University, just within the last few years, did some work with the American Hereford Association with thousands of records of Hereford cattle, and they found that the overall udder score was 32% heritable, had a heritability of 0.32. Individual traits within that udder score also were pretty moderately heritable. The suspensory ligament soundness, the strength of that was one trait, and the shape of the teats is also another trait that were very close to that 0.3 in terms of heritability. Perhaps even more importantly in that data set, they found that the correlation between those two traits was very high, 0.83. What that means is selecting for one of those helps to improve both traits as well. So, as those cows go through the chute this fall, I think it's again very important that we consider which of those cows has that broken down suspensory ligament or that large funnel-shaped teat, and let's make the decision that we're not going to keep her around for another year. Plus, if she gave us a heifer calf this year, we're not keeping that heifer as one of our replacements. In this way, over time, we can make some real improvement in udder soundness in our beef herd. That's going to help in terms of overall weaning weights, in terms of health of those calves, and therefore, I think in the long run, help with our bottom line. We want to watch carefully the fall cows as they go through the chute, weaning time, and pick out those that have that unsound udder, as well as any fall calving cows, that we're going to cull next spring or summer. Now's a good time to look at them when they're at the peak of lactation and that udder is as full as possible. Let's select on udder soundness. We'll help our beef herds in the long run. Hey, we look forward to visiting with you again next week on Sunup's Cow-Calf Corner.